So I went to take the training from Mel last year in May 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, and I had a list that I wrote in my journal of things that I wanted to deal with. It wasn't one main thing, it was a bunch of, you know, small main things, really. And so 2 of them I've had some partial success, and 3 of them I've had really huge success. So today I got out my journal that I took with me up there, and on the plane I was writing down the areas I wanted to work on, and the area that has had the most change was not even on my list. So that first day in the seminar, I just kept thinking, wait a minute, I've got to work on this other thing that I wasn't even thinking about working on. And that other thing is being mad at my mother. So I'm 61 years old, and I started being mad at my mother when I was about 30. So I was 60 when I went to LP last year, so that's exactly half my life, right? And the things that, there are a whole range of things that I was doing mad at my mother for. And I sat there in that seminar and I just thought, this is probably the main thing that I really need to work on here. And it took me, I think it took me up to a month to get the right question. So I started off with, do you want to be mad at your mother, or do you want to enjoy her for who she is? And that didn't work. The question that worked was, do you want to be mad at your mother, or do you want to view your struggles with your mother as opportunities for growth that shaped you into the person that you are today? Mm-hmm. So it was a cognitive shift of seeing the things that were difficult with my mother as part of what made me into the person that I am now, and that I'm grateful for the parts of me, becoming grateful for the parts of me that are there because of this relationship with my mother. And so it was just a huge change for me to not think about being mad at her, to just sort of, she's just there, she just is. And then we went to the US in October, November, and I spent a week with her, kind of in the middle of the trip, and then a few days with her at the end of the trip. And I had moments when I actually enjoyed her, when I actually sat there. I mean, my mother is 89 going on 50, and I sat there going, look at this woman, she's astonishing. And my husband was doing the same stuff that we've always done, and she's so irritating about this, and she's so irritating about that. And I found myself rebutting what he was saying. No, you got to pay attention to these amazing things that she does. And so, I mean, that has been just this giant 180-degree thing that's just not there in my life anymore. It's such a gift. So that's just a huge gift. So then I view that area as separate from the other 2. The last 2 I'm going to talk about, but the last 2 I'm going to talk about I see as very overlapping each other. And that has to do with anxiety and insomnia. So when we did the lesson on stress, and Mel talked about the stress response, how it rushes over your body and the various parts of your body that are affected, immediately I began to realize how often I was engaging in I was doing anxiety, and that thing was going through my body, and I immediately started stopping it. So even at the end of the first day, that first night, I was stopping it. And when I was 27, I was pregnant with my first child, and that's when I first started having insomnia. So I had insomnia from 27 to 60, and the middle of the night insomnia stopped the first day of LP. Mm-hmm. And so in the 8 or 9 months that's been, I've had as much middle of the night insomnia in that whole period as I would normally have in a week. Mm-hmm. So, you know, it's not like it's gone away 100%, but it's gone away 99.5% or 99.8% or something. So that is just, it's just astonishing. And then the anxiety thing, I feel so much more present present in the situations of my life. So like this trip to the US, we traveled all over the place. It was a 6-week trip. I mean, it was potentially exhausting, but it wasn't. I just was present to, what was going on. And instead of that business, where you think, oh my gosh, we've got to catch a plane tomorrow. Will it be late? That thing that goes through your mind, to just not have that going through my mind anymore. So, yeah, I just have been much, much, much happier. I have a lot of knee pain, and or had a lot of knee pain, and particularly in one knee. And I didn't do LP that much for knee pain from the beginning because other things crowded it out. I mean, it was so obvious to me there were other things I needed to work on. So, but I have done some LP off and on for knee pain, and before I went, I dreaded walking anywhere. I mean, I'm talking about 100 meters or 200 meters. I dreaded going up and down flights of stairs, even 1 or 2 flights. And now I can do all that comfortably, and that's fine. I had huge improvement for the first 5 months. And I won't say more except for that that's the area I want to work on in the second part of today. But so that had to do with compulsive eating and weight. And I found a really good question about, I don't know, a couple weeks after LP. I was kind of struggling with what the question should be. And the question that really worked for me was, do you want to eat until you're stuffed? Or do you want to stop eating earlier so that you can be lean and strong? Mm-hmm. And for the first 5 months, that was just really, really wonderful. I lost, I don't know, like 7 kilos or something. And I have gained a little bit of that back, but having still not gained it all back, I feel leaner and stronger, so I really do feel like that was wonderful. To, enjoy my mother for who she is, and to go to bed at night and sleep straight through the night and not be concerned that I'm gonna, if I wake up to the toilet, I'm gonna be awake for an hour or two, to not have that, to just know that I'm gonna sleep through the night. And then to be much more present in so many work settings and family settings, all of that. So those are the 3 huge areas for me: my mom, anxiety, and insomnia.